For the 21st leader of the Labour Party, no ticker tape or cheering conference crowds. Yet the low-key announcement of Sir Keir Starmer's victory, confirmed in a tweet by a Labour Party in coronavirus lockdown, was perhaps befitting of a man who does not really do razzmatazz.
It is the honour and the privilege of my life to be elected as leader of the Labour Party.
To his supporters, Starmer is thoughtful and serious. To his critics, overcautious and dull, with one cruelly describing him as Ed Miliband without the charisma. It wasn't coronavirus that caused Britain to lose interest in Labour's hunt for a saviour. It was a contest which never captured the public's imagination. As a result, despite a battle which has lasted for 4 months since Labour's crushing defeat in the 2019 election, we're still not much clearer about what sort of leader Starmer will be. He allowed Rebecca Long-Bailey to pitch herself as continuity Corbyn, giving the man who took Labour to its worst result since 1935
10 out of 10.
But Starmer also went out of his way to praise Corbyn and warned against steering too hard away from the policy platform he offered. There have been some sparks of life. His campaign rallies had the air of a star in the making, albeit without the raw passion of early Corbynism. Many have welcomed his calls for unity.
We cannot fight the Tories if we're fighting each other. Factionalism has to go.
But others worry that efforts to please everyone means he will lack the courage to drive out the troublemakers, anti-Semites and Stalinists who've dogged the party. The former barrister who became Director of Public Prosecutions should prove a more forensic interrogator of Boris Johnson at Prime Minister's questions, whenever that is. And those who worried that he was too serious would acknowledge he becomes leader of the opposition in the most serious of times. There is no mistaking the uphill challenge though. Labour have just 202 MPs, only 37 more than the Tories won in their 1997 drubbing. There is no route back for the party, which doesn't include taking back the northern working class areas snapped up by the Tories in the last election, or the Scottish seats dominated by the SNP for the last decade. And at a time when the government is responding to coronavirus with unprecedented levels of state spending and intervention that would make even Corbyn blush, how does a centre-left party respond? There is a risk that is the architect of Labour's Brexit policy backing a second referendum. Starmer is dogged by claims he is a plotting Remainer. There is a risk that by failing to take on Corbynism during the contest, he will not be able to drive out the hard left factionalism that has taken hold in the party. There is a risk that a tendency towards politeness and avoiding confrontation means his top team will have too many of the poor performers from the Corbyn era. But the biggest risk is that with frankly bigger things going on, nobody notices him at all.